Hey, it's Steph, and thanks for joining me on the mat today for our lunge flow. So we're going to start in a tabletop position. You can take your hands underneath your shoulders or slightly wider. Just start by rocking the hips side to side, maybe waving through the spine, bending the elbows, just sort of neutralizing your joints. Take some deep breaths, inhaling and exhaling. And then coming back to neutral, engaging through the core, find your neutral tabletop, and we're going to send our right leg back. Inhale here. As you exhale, soften your elbows and hug the right knee in towards your chest. Inhale, send it back. Exhale, hug it in. Inhale it back. Exhale it in. Why I'm bending the elbows is so that when I hug in, I can create more space to step that foot through, which is what we're going to do this time. Inhale back, exhale, hug in, and then stepping that right foot towards your right hand. Start with just a little rock here, forward and back. Maybe moving side to side, walking your hands. And then a nice option here is to add in some blocks. So I like to add a few blocks here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring our left hand underneath our shoulder, block or no block, whichever you prefer, and we're going to find that rotated low lunge towards the front knee. From here, you can hold or find some flow, inhaling and exhaling, maybe circle sweeping the arm around. Maybe it's just hand on the hip and you're moving forward and back. Maybe you're opening and closing through that arm. So I'm just giving you some variations here. I like to do a circle with the arm to open up and get some mobility for the shoulder. One more here, and then coming back to center. Walk the hands back under your shoulder. Make sure your back knee is about underneath your back hip, and then rise up, just finding a low lunge position. Take some deep breaths. Inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to rotate towards that front knee, and then just let the arms come down wherever you like. Maybe you want to press out through the palms. Maybe you want to bring one arm up, one arm back, kind of like a reverse warrior. Maybe you want to bring the opposite hand on the front knee. Whatever works for you, kind of variation. Maybe it's just hands in prayer. Inhale back through the center. This time as you exhale, let your hips rotate slightly and open away from that front knee. And again, finding any variation here. Maybe it's hands behind your head. Maybe you want to bring your front forearm on that leg for a little stretch through the hip. Maybe it's one arm up, one arm down. So find where you want your arms to be, what feels right for you. Maybe you want to move them around. Find some variations. Inhale back to center, and exhale, bring the hands back down. Send it back to that tabletop, engaging through the core, and then neutralize the hips. Find a few cat-cows here in between, softening your elbows. Inhale, looking out. Exhale, round. Just flowing with your own breath, moving through your head, your neck, your upper back, all the way down your spine to your pelvis. Last one. And then coming back to neutral, finding that strong table. Inhale, and as you exhale, send the left leg back. Inhale here, as you exhale, hug in, drawing that knee towards your chest. Inhale back, exhale in. Think about engaging your core here as you pull that knee in. One more time. This time hugging in, step the left foot towards your left hand, and find a little rock here, forward and back, or maybe side to side. Taking your front hand underneath your shoulder, again, use a block here if you'd like, and rotate towards that front knee. Feel free to hold or finding some movement through that top arm, inhaling, exhaling, opening, sitting back into your hips a little bit. Just find some movement that feels right for you today. Maybe it's opening and closing the arm. And then holding that top hand. Maybe bring it up overhead or hand to your hip or low back. And coming back down to center. And then from here, making sure your back knee is underneath your hip. Draw up and find that low lunge, reaching to your arms. Inhale as you exhale, rotate towards the front knee, taking the arms in any variation that you'd like. Maybe finding a different focal point, looking up or down. Inhale back to center and exhale, rotate, letting that right hip gently open. And again, finding a variation here. Trying maybe a few different things to see what works. Inhale back to center. Exhale, bring the hands back down, sending it back to table. And then shaking it out. This time, we're either going to stay in table, doing that leg to knee, or moving from our downward facing dog. So tucking the toes, take the hands a little wider if you need to, maintaining that neutral neck and spine, lift the knees, and just slowly extend the legs, still keeping neutrality through the spine. Inhale, soften, exhale, sending the right leg back, keeping the hips level so that that hip isn't opening up to the side. Inhale, and as you exhale, hug that right knee in. Inhale it back. Exhale it in. One more, really hug in, lift through the hips, draw in and up, and step the right foot towards your right hand. Grab your blocks here if you'd like. Just finding a little rock here, forward and back. And then making sure the feet are hips width apart so that we're not bouncing on a straight line. Bend both knees, take the back knee so it's underneath your hip as you roll up through the center, finding a high lunge. So we want to focus on engaging through the quad here, really feeling this muscle firing up. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, pull the hands towards your hips as you come down into that lunge. We call these fists of fire lunges because we're drawing the hands down, creating heat and power in the body. Should really get your legs and your whole body warm. One more here. Inhale up. And then as you exhale, slowly lower a little bit deeper into that lunge. Inhale up and come a little lower. Inhale up and come a little lower. Now, listen to your body, listen to your knees, but if you would like or feel like it feels smart for your body, lower all the way down to that knee. Otherwise, other option, use your blocks and come back down. So we're on the back knee, lift up and lower down. Lift up and lower down. One more here, lift up and bring the hands back to your blocks. And then taking the left hand underneath your shoulder, right foot might come a little wider, rotate towards the front knee. We're gonna find that circle sweep here, down and around. Notice I'm still bending and extending my legs back. Connecting to my breath, making this maybe a little bigger than we did with the back knee down. One more, hold it up this time. Notice I'm sending my hips back, keeping a soft bend in my knees. I can really feel this through that right glute, the right hamstring. Exhale, bring it back down. Take your hands to the mat, step into a forward fold. Bend both knees, shake it out. Bend down and roll all the way up. Inhale, reach. Exhale, down, fold. Bend your half forward fold and step back to down dog. Take a cleansing breath in. Exhale it out your mouth. Bending both knees and elbows, either coming back down to table, doing the left leg, knee to elbow, or from down dog, send it back, hips facing down. Exhale, hug in. Inhale back. Exhale. One more, really hug in. Lift and step the left foot towards your left hand. Finding that rock here, forward and back. Just getting into that movement, firing up the legs. Make sure the feet are hips width apart and bend the right knee, the back knee underneath your hip as you rise up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fist of fire. Feel your body heating, warming. Maybe big exhales out your mouth. One more here. Hold down. Inhale up. Exhale, come an inch lower. Inhale up. Exhale, come an inch or two lower. And then again, listen to your body. Stay right here within your range of motion. That feels smart for your lunges. Or if you feel like your joints are okay with you coming all the way down to the mat, then lift and lower from there. So listen to your body. One more here. Lengthen up. Exhale, lean forward. Bring the hands back to your blocks. Take that left foot a little wider. Right hand stays underneath the shoulder and rotate towards the front leg. Again, you can stay here and hold. Otherwise, lowering and lifting through the legs, moving through your shoulder. Circle sweeping that arm. Connect to your breath. Inhale and exhale. One more. Holding up. Lengthen. Notice how I'm sending my hips back, but I still have that soft bend through the knee. I can really feel this in a good way in my muscles. And then slowly bring it back down. Step back to forward fold. Inhale, bend down. Exhale, roll all the way up. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Find your half forward fold. Step back to down dog. And lower to table. And that is your lunge flow.